A very good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining us for the FutureSkills Prime Bootcamp Kickstarting Your Industry 4.0 career in cloud and security. My name is Amrita from FutureSkills Prime, the national digital skilling platform, which is a joint initiative of Ministry of Information Technology and Electronics and NASCOM. Our valued learning content partner for this session is CloudThat, the organization incepted in 2012 and is the first Indian organization to offer cloud training and consultancy for mid-market and enterprise clients. The expertise is in all major cloud platforms, including Microsoft Azure, Amazon Web Services, and Google Cloud Platform. This positions CloudThat as a pioneers in the field. In this session, CloudThat is offering participation certificates for all attendees who stayed with us till the end. Let's now make most of this opportunity. Today, joining us is Dr. Abhilasha Vyas, a Microsoft certified trainer with 20 years of training experience. She's skilled in topics such as cloud model, cybersecurity, power platform, security, etc. She did her PhD in research area of detection of DDO attacks. She is also part of many technical women communities to promote women in the technology. Over to you, Abhilasha.
Hi, thank you, Amrita. A nice introduction of CloudThat and myself. And thank you, everybody, for joining this session. Let me share my screen. Yeah, Amrita, I hope my screen is visible to you.
Perfect.
Yeah. And my audio and video is also clear?
All good.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So, welcome everybody for this bootcamp. I'm very excited to deliver this session because this is a very, very interesting certification, AZ 500. And in today's session, we are going to discuss about the modules which we have in AZ 500. And I have taken a couple of services to demonstrate to you so that you can understand that what AZ 500 is bringing to us and why this kind of course is designed from Microsoft and why the requirement of such courses are in the market and the people are getting benefit from these courses. So let's start with today's session. I know that Amrita has given a beautiful introduction about company CloudThat, but let me give you a little bit more introduction about CloudThat. We are into training and consulting from last 10 years, and we are working in the areas and the technologies like cloud, security, AIML, DevOps, IoT. You just name the emerging technologies, and we have expert in these things. And we are helping the enterprises in solving their problems, their real case scenarios, the migration from on-prem to cloud. We have trained around 400,000 professionals in this entire journey. And we have served 100 plus corporates in training and consulting. And we have a proven track record of training delivery of all stages of employee life cycle. And we are able to do this with the help of the strong team which we have in the CloudThat with the certified people. We have Microsoft certified people. We have Amazon accredited instructors. So we have a pool of certified cloud professionals, those who are working in the consulting division and those who are working in the training division also. And there is a overlap between these because if you know the things, how to implement those things, that is also important. So that's the beauty of CloudThat, that everything is overlap and everybody is getting that opportunity to get the feel of the real world of the services which are available to help the customer. And I'm very proud to share with you all that we are Gold Microsoft partner and we are winner of the Microsoft Asia Superstar campaign for India in year 2021. So with this introduction, I'll just move to the next slide and hear about me. And I'm just going to skip this slide because Amrita has given a beautiful introduction. So before moving to the topics which I have decided, before moving to the things which I wanted to discuss with you, let's get an understanding about you all, how you are placed, how much you know about the Azure security services, how many of you already worked on Azure portal. So for that, I have created a link which Minu is sharing with you. So I request Minu to share that link in the chat so that you all can get the idea. And I'm going to start. I hope that my screen is still visible to you all.
Yes, yes, Abhilasha, we
Yeah,
can see very nice.
thank you. So I request everybody to share your experience with Azure and security services. You are as a beginner, you have started it, you have experience, you worked on that, you are very expert in that area. Okay. I really appreciate that you all are interactive, you are responding to the queries. Okay. Okay, we have experts also, intermediate as well, and more audience are from the beginner's side. Okay. Okay, we'll spend a couple of more seconds on the screen. I request everybody to share your experience. It will help me in taking this bootcamp. Okay, I hope that everybody is having access to this link. Okay. Okay, so I can see that most of the participants are beginners to Azure portal and the security services. Okay. Okay. Okay, I got the fair idea. Now we'll move to the next slide. Okay, we have intermediate as well. So what's your end goal after this bootcamp? You want to go for AZ 500 certification. You just want to learn about these services. You want to explore new field. What's your goal? Okay. Learn in certifications both SC 900 and AZ 500 certification, right? Do certification to understand as a beginner. Learn and gain skills. Okay. To understand the concept and to gain knowledge, explore new areas in cloud security. To explore, I want the certification and work on the platform. Very nice. I really appreciate your all responses that you are sharing your end goals with us. Work on cloud security or cybersecurity field. I want to learn and take up the Azure 500 and gain knowledge. Skill enhancement. Okay. Okay. This is really motivating that most of you are looking for learning something, for gaining skills to learn the area which is a cloud, which is very, very new field, which is demanding field. When we say new field, it's not entirely new, but new because now most of the organizations are shifting and migrating from on-prem to cloud. Okay, upskill myself on security services from Azure, explore new areas, gain knowledge, and eager to know about this, learn to use security as in modern days. It is very important, very well said. Add value to you. Definitely certification add value to you. In the previous session, Bhavesh beautifully explained that why you need to go for certifications when the recruiters and the bots are scrutinizing the resume. They have those filters assigned to them based on which if you have mentioned that you have cleared the certification, the chances are more that your resume will be selected on the first go, and then based on the performance, you will get a chance. But then certification is very, very important to prove that you have that kind of skill to clear that certification and you have understanding of those services, because this is Microsoft's role based certification. So they have designed this certification very, very beautifully because they have picked some areas, and from those areas they have picked the services and then they have included those services in the certification. So this is really nice. And I really appreciate all of you. You are responding, you are very active and you are interactive in this session. This is really motivating me to deliver my session with more passion and with more zeal. Okay, let's move ahead. Thank you so much, everybody, for sharing your end goals and sharing your experiences with us. Let me take you to my slides once again. Okay, so before starting this, I just wanted to discuss with you that why Microsoft designed this course. What is the main focus of designing this course and adding these 4 modules, which are very beautiful and very important modules in security perspective? Because Azure security engineers, if we say, they are responsible for implementing security controls. They are responsible for maintaining the organization's security and security posture. Also, they are responsible for managing identity and access. Now, we are going to understand these terms in the coming slide because this is a boot camp in which I'm going to introduce the things which are available in AZ 500. But the entire course, which is a 4-day long course, will be available in the month of June. So I will be sharing those details also in couple of slides. So those who have mentioned their end goal as a certification, they can attend that June session, which is from 6th June to 9th June. And this is a 4-day long session in which we will be having a detailed discussion on all the modules, all the services with the practices, demonstrations, labs. Every module is having labs assigned to it. So right now in this 2 hour, I'll just give you a bird eye view of what's there in AZ 500, what kind of things you will be get to play in AZ 500. And then in 4-day sessions, you will be having a detailed explanation, discussion on these services. So all these terminologies, as I've seen that most of you are beginner. So all these terminologies might be a very new terminologies for you, but I'll try to explain all these things. I'll try to make this session very interesting and knowledgeable for you all so that you can gain from this. So security engineers are responsible for implementing security control to maintain the organization's security posture, to manage identity and access, to protect the data, the applications which are running, and also managing the networks, that which traffic is coming. If traffic is coming, you want to give access to which application, up to which layer you want to give the access. All those things security engineers are responsible for. Then also we have a responsibility like identify and remediate vulnerabilities. So I'm sure that you all are interested in security, so you might be aware about this terminology, vulnerabilities, where the weakness are there in the systems, in the security settings are weakly configured. So in that case, security engineers are responsible for identifying and remediating the vulnerabilities, these weaknesses, by using the variety of security tools. So we will be discussing about the security tools which Microsoft is providing to identify and remediate the weaknesses in the entire infrastructure, and also how to implement the threat protection and also to respond. Because you can understand that when we have a large infrastructure, even if we have a small organization, we have medium enterprises. So in every enterprise, every organization, we have people, those who are working, the traffic is coming, we have number of applications which are running. So in that case, a manual respond to these threats, a manual respond to these alerts, it is not possible. So can we have a way through which we can do all those things automatically? So yes, we have those things which are available. We can manage these things. We can get the email notification on our email IDs. All these things responding to the security incidents, escalations, all these things we can automate and we can manage with the help of the available tools. So we will be discussing about those. I'll just stop my video. Maybe my voice is not clear. Please let me know if in case you are facing any difficulty in my voice or in viewing my slides. Okay, so this is the second responsibility which Azure security engineers are having. And then we also have a responsibility to work as a part of a large team which are dedicated to cloud-based management and security. And then we also secure hybrid environment. Now, what is the meaning of hybrid is that you have your on-prem setup and now you have your cloud setup. So you have your cloud as well, on-prem as well, and in cloud also you have multi-environment. So to manage and secure the application resources which are running at the cloud, application resources which are running at the on-prem data center. So you want to secure each and every resource which is available at the hybrid environment as part of an end-to-end infrastructure security. So that is also coming under the responsibility of security engineer. And also security engineer should be familiar with scripting and automation, and also should have a deep understanding of networking and virtualization. So we see that these are the responsibilities of security engineers. So Azure designed this course AZ 500, which is giving the description, which is giving the labs, which will make us unable to manage all these kind of responsibilities in very easy manner, because we know that security is a shared responsibility model. This security is shared between the cloud service provider and the customer. So when we want to manage the cloud infrastructure, when we want to manage the data and the resources which are available in the infrastructure, we should be knowing about the services which cloud service provider is giving to us, or the capabilities which we have to manage these resources in the cloud. So this course is introducing us with all those services, with all those capabilities. So let me take you to the next slide. So these are the prerequisite for this. This is very, very important prerequisite. And for that, I also have an announcement for you all, because I have seen that one participant mentioned SC 900 plus AZ 500. So why that participant was saying that? Because you need to have a basic understanding of security, plus you can also have an understanding of Azure infrastructure, Azure fundamentals. So you can go like this: AZ 900 is SC 900, and then you can also go for AZ 500. So what understanding you will be having? A basic fundamental security concepts you will be getting from security and fundamental. Here we will be getting Azure fundamental. So how you can work on the portal, how you can create your accounts, all those things you can understand from the AZ 900. What are the services, key vaults, blobs, data management, creation of the virtual machines, resource management, subscription, all those things related to Azure infra you can understand in this. And then you can have a basic security understanding from the SC 900. The terms like defense in depth, terms like least privilege access, role-based access control, multi-factor authentication, shared responsibility, zero trust model, all these kind of terminology you will be understanding in SC 900. So it is not recommended, it is not a fixed like the restricted prerequisite from the Microsoft that you should be clearing these certification. But what I'm suggesting is that CloudThat is running these two certification trainings very soon. So I will be sharing those details also with you, so you can get the benefit of those trainings which are happening, and that's absolutely free. You can attend, you can learn these certifications. So AZ 900 and SC 900 trainings are upcoming, scheduled very recently. So you can attend those training sessions to get the understanding of all these prerequisites, because this course is mainly focusing on the understanding of the security of infra, security of data, security of applications. So here we are not understanding how to deploy virtual machines. We are trying to understand how to secure deployed virtual machines. So if you want to go and understand the basics fundamental of Azure and security, you should attend the CloudThat trainings for AZ 900 and SC 900. I will be sharing those links with you during the session, or I'll just request the chat moderators to share these links with you, so that those who are completely beginner, those who are new to the portal, they can go and understand these things. So now let's come to these points. Quickly, I will brief you about these pointers, and then we will move to the next slide. So what they want to say is that understand security best practices. So as you mentioned that you want to learn new skills, so this is a new skill in which you need to understand that right now, whatever is coming to the cloud infrastructure for getting the access to certain resources, to gaining the access to certain data, cloud is not going to trust any signal. Cloud is going to verify each and every signal which is coming. Once it is verified, then only the access will be given. So we are not going to say that if device one is requested for one resource, now if device is requesting another resource, we are going to trust this request. No, we are not going to trust this request. Again, this kind of resource access is again authenticated. Check the authorization, then only you will be gaining the access. So in the zero trust model, cloud is assuming that there is a breach in every signal, and every signal is verified. As I discussed, that shared responsibility model. So it means customer and cloud service provider both are sharing the responsibility. And then we have a very, very important term, that is multi-factor authentication. So I'm sure that many of you heard about this term. Many of you used also. What we are doing in this is we are introducing multiple factors. We are using passwords. We are using phone OTPs. We are using some software. We are using some hardware keys. Why we are doing this? Again, just to provide extra layer of security in case this password is breached. And we know there are a lot of ways through which passwords can be breached. So when you have these passwords and you know that passwords can be breached, why not to add some extra layer of security? And it's not possible for attacker to hack each and every way. So multi-factor authentication is providing extra layer of security, providing extra secure access to the users for the cloud infrastructure. Then in cloud, I will be explaining the role based also, how roles can be created, how roles can be assigned. So what are the roles is, when you are a user, you are an identity in the cloud infrastructure, you will be having some specific access assigned to you. Now how the access will be assigned? In terms of assigning the roles to you, that you are global admin, you are security admin. So these are the roles which are designed in Azure. And these roles are nothing but set of permissions. So these permissions, what you can do, what you can write, what you can delete, what you can update in the environment. So you can collect these set of permissions based on the requirement of the designated job, and then you can assign these roles to the users. So Azure in cloud is providing role-based access control. We can also create our own roles. We will be seeing in AZ 500 roles. We can use the built-in roles which are available as well. So we will be discussing about roles also in the coming slide. I've added few slides on the role as well. And then we have least privilege access, means whatever is required, only give access to that, not less, not more, because less means again you are disturbing the day-to-day productivity of the user. If you are giving more, the attack surface is increased, and we want to reduce the attack surface because we want to give a secure access to the users to the environment. So these are the few terms which you can understand in detail from this particular training that is coming as a combination, and that's a very good a training, I can say that, which will give you and which will make you ready for the upcoming training on AZ 500 in the month of June. So please attend this training, and I'm just moving to the next slide to show you that what all modules we have and what all things we are going to discuss in this bootcamp. So these are the 4 important major modules we have. And if you remember, in the security engineer role, I discussed that security engineer is responsible for managing identity and access, managing security posture, managing security controls, managing secure access. So if you see these modules are designed in such a way so that you will be able to understand each and every service which is required to fulfill the role of security engineer. And if you see, these are certain weightage also given to these modules. These weightage are basically indicating the relative weight of area in the exam. So if you are writing the AZ 500 certification, you can see higher the percentage, the more questions you are likely to see in that area. So when you are preparing for these certifications, you have to take care of the weightage of the different modules as well. So we will be going to discuss each and every module in detail. So if we talk about the first module, which I have taken over here, identity and access. So in this particular module, we are going to understand the enterprise governance, strategies like role-based access control, Azure policies, resource log, user creation of users, creation of groups, creation of multi-factor authentications. We are going to discuss about the hybrid identities, how we can use AD Connect, Azure Active Directory, how we can create users, how we can create roles. We are also going to discuss about the identity protection, which includes risk policies, like we can say that conditional access, or we can say that what kind of sign-in risks are there that we can discuss. And privilege identity management, we will be going to discuss about what kind of roles we can assign if we want to have any approval for activating any role for any specific period of time. You want to give any privilege access to any user. So module 1 is talking about all, and then we have specific labs also assigned to this module 1. So in today's session, I'm not going to cover the entire thing because these are all the huge modules, the services which need lot of discussion, lot of demonstrations. So I have taken few points to discuss with you, which will give you a understanding of about this module. Then I'll show you some demonstration also. Then we will move to the next module. So in this bootcamp, I thought that I will take few pointers from all the modules and I will introduce those things with you all so that you all will be like motivated towards AZ 500. You all understand that what's there inside the AZ 500. So first I'm starting with Azure Active Directory. So we are going to use the entire discussion with the demonstration. So I will show you this. Just a minute. I'll just close it. We don't need this now. So we are going to work entirely on the portal.azure.com. So this is my Microsoft account, which is given to me because I'm Microsoft certified trainer. You can also create your accounts on Microsoft. And here we are going to play with Azure Active Directory. We are going to see the services which are available in the Azure Active Directory. What all things we can manage. So AZ 500 covers all these services, all these features which you can manage, creation of users, monitoring, everything is covered in AZ 500. So I'll be introducing with few things. Then we will move to the next service and the next topics. So in Azure Active Directory, we can say that it's a Microsoft cloud-based identity and access management service where we can create identities and we can manage the access to those identities. And AD is providing access to both external and internal resources. Now, I'm sure that you all will be agree that why we need to provide the access to both internal and external resources, why we need to manage the identities. So I will be explaining you those things, and I'm very sure that you all will be agree with me about the reasons which I will be giving. And we have many similarities with the Active Directory, which we were used to manage when the entire setup was at the on-prem. And we have the features which are available like single multi-factor authentication. We have single sign-on. This is a very, very, again, important and beautiful service which is given to us. This is also helping us in reducing the attack surface. Now, how it is doing? We all know that we have a lot of kind of scenarios where we see the phishing attacks are happening. So people are creating the forms, they are sharing the forms. If an employee every day trying to log into the 10 applications and that employee is getting 10 times that form. So if 11th time you are giving that form, that is a phishing form, that employee will not be in a doubt because it's a habit of that employee to enter the detail, and every time whenever that user wants to access any application, they are entering the login details into that form. So why not to protect these things? So because of that, a single sign-on feature is enabled, and with the help of which application which is registered, which is SSO integrated with Azure AD, for those applications, you are not required to do the sign-in multiple times. You are authenticated with Azure AD. So all these applications which are SSO integrated, you will be having direct access with them. No authentication, no re-authentication is required. So that's a very, very beautiful and important feature in terms of managing the security. And also we have a cap, which is again a very important thing. Everything is important, I know, but a few things which I'm stressing more, which are helping us and which are giving a better control on the access which we want to give to the users. So conditional access is giving us the feature through which we can manage the access which we want to give to the user. Now, what I mean to say that is, we have various signals. As I've given the example, we have device 1. This device 1 is my mobile, which I'm every time using. I have device 2, which is my laptop. This is my office laptop. I have device 3, which is my personal laptop. I have device 4, another mobile, which I have, iPad I have. So I have number of devices with me. I have number of location from which I'm accessing. Maybe I'm accessing right now at location 1, another location 2, maybe the platform which I'm using on these devices, maybe I'm using Android, I'm using iOS, I'm using Windows, I'm using Linux. So what we want to do is, certain applications are very, very confidential, and these applications are using and working with the sensitive data. So you don't want to give a direct access to those applications. So what you want is that if any user is trying to access those applications, you want to check that from which device they are trying to access. Is this location is trusted location? Is this application which is trying to access is a secure application? So all those things and signals you can manage in conditional access, and based on that you can give, you can grant the access, you can block the access. So this is also a very important features in terms of managing the security in the cloud infrastructure. So these all features are provided from Azure Active Directory, and also we have a multiple license options which are available. So in the Azure Active Directory, these are the few admin accesses. So you will be understanding all these admin accesses and the portal in detail in the AZ 500 course. I'll take you to the roles which I discussed. So roles are nothing but, if you see in this slide, the list of the roles are available. Some are predefined roles, some are custom roles. So what is happening in this is, these roles are intended for IT admins, for application developers, for Microsoft 365, Office 365 and all. So these roles are created, and these roles are basically control permissions to manage Azure AD resources. Now we have Azure roles also, so I'll be coming to that in the course itself. I don't want to confuse you. So we are creating these roles to combine the permissions, and then we are assigning those permissions to the users. And these roles can be inbuilt, and we can create custom roles also. So I think I have taken that custom role slide as well. Yeah. So we can create custom roles also. It's very easy to create the custom roles, and it's very easy to select the permissions you want to assign to that custom role, because one size not fit to everybody. So if the built-in roles are available, we cannot only and only rely on those built-in roles. Maybe our organization requires some other roles to be created. So that's why we can take the help from the creation of the custom roles. And then we can also modify the built-in roles also, what kind of things we need to add in those built-in role based upon the requirement of the organization. So I will show you also, once we complete the discussion on the module 1, how we can create the custom roles, how we can assign the roles to user or the groups, that also we will be seeing, because we see that we can manage identity and we can manage the access of that identity. So user is nothing but the identity. When we are assigning a role, we are assigning the permissions to this identity, that what all kind of tasks or permissions this identity is having, what access this identity is having, what kind of operation this identity can perform on the given data and the given applications. So we can assign built-in roles or custom roles which we created to the users and to the groups. We can assign to user group service principal or manage identity, and also we can use the principle of least privilege when assigning. And with the principle of least privilege only, these custom roles comes into the picture, where you are only giving the permissions which are required for the designated task. And then also you can manage the time-based access also. That is also part of the module 1. Okay, so here we are assigning the roles. We can click on the assigned role. We can go to the specific role. We can assign a role. So I'll show you all these things in the demonstration. That will give you more clarity. So this slide will be a bit thing. Here in this slide, I wanted to explain and I wanted to discuss about the hybrid identity. So what we are doing in the hybrid identity is that we have an on-prem setup. We have users registered with Active Directory, and we have users which are registered with the Azure Active Directory. Now just think of the scenario when these users are having access to 100 of applications. These users are having their own identity and they have their access assigned to these 100 applications. Now, when they are migrating from on-prem to cloud infrastructure, I'm asking these users to maintain two identities, one for on-prem, another for cloud infrastructure. Then for accessing again 100 plus application, they have to work on the different username and passwords. They have to manage and work with the different identities, different access. It's going to be very difficult for the users. And because of that, a synchronization feature a synchronization service which is available in Azure, that is Azure AD Connect, where we can synchronize the users' identities with the cloud, and from a single place we will be able to manage all the identities, and these are known as hybrid identities, and users will be having a unique identity, and that identity users can use to access the on-prem. That identity user can use to access the cloud services, cloud applications. So user is not maintaining separate identities. There is a unified identity for users to access any service which is available at the on-prem, any service which is available at the cloud. So that's a very, very wonderful option which is given by the Azure cloud, because now you are able to manage your common identity for Office 365, Azure, SaaS applications which are integrated with Azure AD. And also with Azure AD, we have this option, just a minute. So these are the authentication option which we have. So in detail, all these authentication methods, the process which is behind the authentication method will be discussed in the AZ 500 course, which is, I'm again telling you, 4 days, 8 hours long course in which theory and lab will be together discussed, merged to give a better understanding on the services. So we have password hash synchronization. The feature is that your password is not leaving the on-prem infrastructure, because you're talking about the authentication of the identities which are synchronized identity. Also, we have an option of pass-through authentication. We are passing the authentication with the help of authentication agents. And then we have a integration of the federation services also, where the third party federation services identifying or authenticating the identity. So where we need a proper infrastructure, proper setup to authenticate the identities. And along with all these things, we have identity protection, we have identity governance. I'll take you to the portal to explain the things which we discussed. So if you see this portal, I'm presenting my Azure portal to you. So I was discussing about the roles and services. So whatever questions you have, you can post in the question and answer session. We have a question and answer box. So Minu is available with me. She's a technical expert. She will help you in answering those questions, because in this 2-hour session, I'll not be able to take the live questions. You can post your questions in the question and answer box. You will get the reply from there. Now let's come to this portal. I was discussing about roles and administrators. So if I'll show you this particular role, that is application administrator role. Now, if you see this, I will show you the permissions which we have. So in the descriptions, you can see, I'll just zoom it a little bit. Yeah. Now you can see the role permissions. So every role, as I discussed, is having a predefined set of permissions which you are assigning, attaching to that role while creating that. So these are the permissions like read all properties of attribute set, read members of administrative unit. So this is for this particular role. We can also go and create the custom roles for the users. We can work on those custom roles. And also, if we want to add any specific user group, we can do that. So these kind of facilities are available from the portal itself. And also in the module 1, we have a discussion related to identity protection. So discussion will be on the identity protection as well, how we can manage the user risk policy, how we can manage the sign-in risk policy, how we can manage MFA registration policy. So all these things are discussed in detail in the AZ 500 4 days course. We also have identity governance service. Now this identity governance is giving us the services, capabilities to manage entitlement management. Now, what is the entitlement management is, you can create all the resources, all the access to those resources, combine it into a package, and that package will be assigned to the entire project team. So instead of individually assigning the resources, you can create this catalog, and this catalog can be assigned to the entire team. So how to work on that, that will be discussed in the module 1. Then we also have access reviews. Now I'll give you one example. We all are using WhatsApp. WhatsApp is now a communication channel which we every day using for communicating to each other. Now we are part of number of groups, but most of the time we are using only limited number of groups. If I'll ask you that you are part of 50 groups and you have given a chance, you are only active on 7 groups. If you want to continue with the remaining 43 groups or you want to remove access from that, you can get the entire access scenario that you are part of the 50 groups. Out of that, you are only active on 7 groups. You have some external users, those who are accessing the resources, but now the project is over, but still they have access to those resources. Do we need that or not? So we have to review the access which we are giving to the user. And that kind of facility and capability is given to us from the access reviews only. So we can design these access review. And yes, we have a capability to do the self review. We can ask users to do the self review. We can assign a reviewer for reviewing the access. All these features which are available in the access reviews, and that is covered in the module 1. Then we also have a privileged identity management. So here, which I was discussing, only the access which is needed means access is given to right person at the right time and for a right particular period. Whatever is requirement, based on that only access will be given. So all these things will be discussed in detail in module 1 in the AZ500 course. So in the second module, if we see, this second module is all talk about the infrastructure, implementing the security, perimeter security, network security, host security. So in this, we will be discussing about Azure firewall. We will be discussing about network security groups, application security group, endpoint protection, remote access management. You can do RDP, you can do SSH. You will be discussing about disk encryption, update management. So all those things are covered in this module. We will be discussing about container security. We will be discussing about host security. In the container security, we have Azure container instances, container registry, Azure Kubernetes. All those things are covered in Azure security. Host security, again, as I discussed, endpoint protection is covered. Remote access management is covered. So every different lessons are having various features which are introduced to you during the course of the AZ500 training. Let's have a little discussion on this. So we have defense in depth approach. So as I was taking the introduction of the course, I discussed that defense in depth approach is basically talking about providing security at the various layers. Why we are providing security at the various layers? Because the problem is that we are not trusting. What we are doing is, if we have implemented security at the physical layer, in terms of providing CCTV, in terms of providing a secure access to the data center, but then also we are not very much sure that what happened with the next layer. So what we want to do is, we want to apply the security management at each and every layer. So that's why we have a defense in depth, where every layer is having certain rules and responsibilities to manage the security. They have their own strategies to manage and work on the attacks. So this physical security is basically outermost shell of security that regulates the physical access to the cloud or data center infrastructure. So we can have these securities like cameras, which I discussed, CCTV surveillance, or any restricted access to the data center. Then we have identity and access. So in identity and access, this is a second layer of Azure defense, where we have data, application, software at the front gate, and we want to protect the access to those with the help of identity and managing the access to that. So this layer is ensuring that access is granted to the authenticated users only. And how it is assuring that? With the help of PIM, with the help of conditional access, with the help of MFA. So these kind of features which are available, with the help of which this layer is managing these. Then we have perimeter. So this is a third layer, and this is used to protect the data from the large scale network based attacks. And like sometimes we can say that it is a demilitarized zone as well. And also this perimeter is responsible for identifying the network attack or network threats, also alerting the clients about any breach which can happen, or eliminate the risk for threats. When we talk about a big attack, which is DDoS attack, this is a very, very sophisticated attack. And I've taken 2 slides in this bootcamp to discuss about this sophisticated attack, that how this attack is happening and what kind of protection mechanism we have in Azure infrastructure. We will be discussing that. So, and we can also put the firewalls to detect the malicious activity, that all coming in the perimeter security. Then we have the network layer, which is the fourth layer. And this targets the basically network connectivity across all the resources to allow only what's required. Inbound and outbound, both we can manage with the help of the network layer. We can design our rules for the inbound and outbound access. We can restrict, we can limit, and we can also deny the visitors or the outsiders by default. So these things will be discussed in detail in AZ 500 also. So we will be discussing about perimeter security, we will be discussing about network security. Also, we have compute security. So this layer is basically ensuring that all the compute resources are secured and user is having a complete control to minimize the security issues. And also we will be giving a confidential computing services with the help of Azure. So we can manage the host security, we can manage the container security in this particular layer. And then we have application layer. So application layer is basically, we can say that this is aimed to reduce the risk and vulnerabilities which are associated with the application development lifecycle. So we are checking that lifecycle, and based on that, we are enforcing the security mechanism, and also we are integrating the security features, and we are doing the application development. Any confidential information which is used or received from the information, we are making sure that should be stored in a secure storage, and that access will also be given to the secure resources only and to the right people only. So we can manage these applications also. And for managing application security, Microsoft is having a separate portal, that is Microsoft Defender for Cloud Application. I will show you that portal also quickly. And then we have our data. So data is basically the innermost layer of strategy, which is different in depth strategy. And attackers are posing threats to the data which is stored. So the main goal is data protection, where data in use, where data in rest, and where data in transit. So in all three cases, we need to make sure that my data is secure. For that, we have Azure Defender for SQL and Azure Defender for storage, Azure information protection. We can design our loss prevention policies. So all these things we have, and we will be discussing in the AZ 500. So I've taken quickly 2-3 slides to give you a little bit understanding that how this model is working. So we have this distributed denial of service attack. So those who are new to this, I'll just give you the little understanding about the DDoS attacks. What's happening in this is we have these bot machines. Now, what are these bot machines? These are zombie machines. These zombie machines are compromised machines. So if you see this definition which is giving, botnets are collection of interconnected systems that an individual controls and uses without their owner's knowledge. The owner is not knowing that these machines are now working on the instructions of some attacker, or these machines are under the control of some. So what we can understand in a very simple way is that these machines are hypnotized by the attacker. What is the meaning of that? Entire control, the entire commands which are executed from these machines are under the control of attacker. And even the owner is not aware of that. Even you are using your laptops and mobiles, you are not aware that if your mobile or laptop is used in such DDoS attack. Any kind of machine can be hacked, any kind of machines can be scanned for the vulnerability, and based on that, attacker is gaining the access. Because these attacks are global attacks. Number of millions of systems are connected, zombie machines are created, and then the target is attacked. So these kind of attacks are very, very sophisticated, and it is very, very important to understand and track that these attacks are happening. And we are going to understand the strategies and scenarios which Azure is giving to us for managing such attacks. So we have the implementation of, DDoS. So we have Azure portal from which we can implement the DDoS protection standard. We have basic and standard service tiers. You will be getting an insight about these kind of tiers. Then we can mitigate the volumetric attack. We can also mitigate the protocol attacks, because we can have sync flood attacks, we can have TCP flood attacks. So these kind of things can be mitigated, and also we can check for the mail from packets and spoofing also. So DDoS protection is very, very important, and we are going to discuss all infrastructure security in the module 2. So with this, we basically discussed about two important modules. I'll just quickly revise those things. Module 1, identity access. Module 2, which is platform protection. So we are protecting the platform on which resources are running, on which services are running. And you see that all these things are very, very interesting. The services which are mentioned are very, very interesting. So you should be understanding all these things in detail if you want to make your career in security. And for giving you the basic fundamental knowledge, I'll share this slide with you. So we are coming up with cloud fundamental DU training on AZ 900 and SC 900 very soon on 24th May. So I just request the moderator to share the training link with you all. You can register it, and also you can be updated about the upcoming trainings also which we are doing to educate the participants to make them understand about the cloud services. And I'll assure you that this particular training will definitely help you in gaining understanding about AZ 500. If you want to learn new technology area, if you want to go and make your career in Azure security, you should go with this particular training, which is AZ 900 and SC 900 due. This is happening on 24th May. Batch 1 and batch 2, we have two batches. You can see the timings also which are mentioned over here. And please share the registration link in the chat so that participants will take the benefit of this training. And let us know that how your feedback is, if you want to have more. So every time whenever you are attending a training or bootcamp or session, you will be receiving a feedback link. And in that feedback link, you can mention what you like and what more things you want to learn from such sessions, and what all sessions you want from us. So that will also help us in designing these courses with you. So I hope that you got the idea about upgrading your career skills at no cost by attending this course, that is AZ 900 and SC 900, Azure Fundamental and Security Fundamentals. So both are fundamental cloud certification, gain understanding about cloud, plus gain understanding about security as well. So I'm moving to the next slide. I want to discuss about the AZ 500 training batch. I see that all are spending your 2 hours time with us for understanding the Azure services. So this is very, very important to know that when this training is happening, what kind of things are available in this. So these are the basic information which we have, where we have the trainings which is happening from 6th June to 9th June. If you see the timings are mentioned, sorry. So these are the timings which are mentioned starting from 6th June and it will end on the 9th June. So again, 9 to 5, we will be having this training, and this training is having combination of, I have discussed only the overview of the module, and you can see that I've just given you a brief about the modules, but there are a lot more services. There are a lot more things which are there in AZ 500. So if you want to learn more about AZ 500, you can register for this particular training. This starting from 6th June. And I'm sure that moderators have already shared the link with you that how to register it. And also you will be getting a certificate by CloudThat on the completion of the course. And also you will be getting a co-branded certificate by FutureSkill Prime and CloudThat. And also this is a big highlight for you all. If you see eligible for Government of India incentive. Now, what is the meaning of that incentive is you have a chance to get your training fee reimbursed. And how much training fees reimbursed, that also you will be getting in your mail IDs. You are attending this course, your mail ID is registered with this course, this bootcamp. You all will be receiving an email that how much training fee will be reimbursed, what's the process of reimbursement, because this is eligible for Government of India incentive. And we know that security is the requirement of today. I've seen that one participant have mentioned that security is required in today's area. How to implement security? So government is taking initiative in terms of like taking this course under the Government of India incentive scheme. And it is like government is reimbursing this fees. Government is paying for you to learn these services which are available, because most of the organizations are facing the problem of working on the attacks. So I just request you all, if you want to go ahead and make your career in security field, the first step is to register for AZ900 and SC900, absolutely free. Attend these courses. These are only like 10:30 to 2 p.m. one session on cloud fundamental, and then we have 3 to 6:30 p.m. SC900 security fundamentals. With these two courses, you will get the understanding of the fundamental services, fundamental aspects, deployment of the instances, all those things you can understand from this particular training. Then you can register for 6 June to 9 June training, and you have a benefit of getting your training fee reimbursed. The percentage is mentioned in that email itself, that how much training fee you will be reimbursed and you will be getting that. So please make sure that you are taking the benefit of these facilities which are given to you. You want to make your career in security, and these are the options which are coming to you. You will be in a win-win situation. Your training fee also be reimbursed up to some percentage. You will be learning this, and the concept also you will learn from the fundamental trainings which we are doing. And also, so this is 100% career transformation with a new job in the cloud domain with full money back guarantee. Again, you will be receiving emails about this program also. So you can boost your career graph with our 6 months career transition guarantee program. If you have any question related to this program, you can post it in the chat. I'm sure that the people, those who are from our team, will be happy to help you in this these questions and queries. Also, you will get a guaranteed job in cloud domain with CCC growth of minimum 30%, or get the full refund without any deduction. Also, you will be having a 360-degree placement assurance and assistant with the CloudThat Career Transformation Program. And you can learn from the authorized trainer. All the trainers are Microsoft certified trainers with experience and with industry experience. And you will be getting the guidance from the industry expert, and also bulletproof your career. And you will be having this excitement of working in this new technological area. So with this, I wanted to request you all to take the benefit of all these options which are available. The fundamentals trainings which are happening on 24th May on AZ900 and SC900, and also AZ500 training which is happening on 6th June to 9th June. And every service, every module which we discuss is going to be discussed in detail in that training program. Around we have 15 labs which are combination of the services which we are discussing. So you will be performing all these labs with the expert like me in that particular training program. So I hope to see you in that training program from 6 to 9 June. So with this point, we basically covered 2 modules, and we still have 2 very interesting modules to work on, to discuss on. And this module is data and application. So this particular module, which is talking about data and application, is, just give me a minute. So in this data and application module, if you see, we have a list of 4 different areas, 4 different lessons. The first is Azure Key Vault. Then we have application security, storage security, database security. So Azure Key Vault is what? It's just like a safe locker in our house. You have specified access to that locker. Not everybody is having access to that locker. Your secrets, your confidential documents, you are storing in your locker. And here in Azure, we have Key Vault as a safe locker. How we can save the data, what kind of things we can save, what kind of things we can work in the Key Vault. All these things in detail you will be discussing with the Azure Key Vault service. Then also we have application security. So I discussed with you that I will be showing a portal also for working on the application security. So I'll show you that if you check and you want to know that how many applications are right now running in my organization, how many applications my users are using in my cloud infrastructure, you will be surprised that there are thousands of applications. Many of the applications are even not compliant with the regulatory policies which you need to comply with. So you can manage all these things in that portal. You can register your applications with Azure AD for authentication, for other processing. From a single portal, you can manage all these kind of security aspects. Then we will be discussing about secure storage as well. Like in this storage, we discussed about data in rest. We need to protect that. We need to store the data, but we want to have the protected data in terms of encrypting that information. So when you are encrypting the information, now when you want to access it, you want to have that in the clean text. But at the rest, you want to store it as a encrypted information. So blobs we have, files we have. So how we can store that information encrypted is by using
Hi, everybody. Just give us a moment. I think we're facing some technical difficulties from Abhilasha's side.
Hi, everybody. I'm so sorry for the technical difficulty. But while Abhilasha joins back, hi, Abhilasha. Are you back?
Hi, Brita. I'm very sorry. I think some network issue. I disconnected in between.
No worries.
I'm back now.
Work from
I'm back now.
anywhere. Yeah.
Thank you.
So over to you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much, Amrita, for managing this. I'll just share my screen once again. I'll switch off my camera. Maybe because of that, some issue is coming. Okay. So I hope, Amrita, now my screen is visible.
Yes, we can see it. All good.
And yeah, I hope that when I was discussing about module 3, that time only my network got disconnected or before that?
I think it was a little before that.
Okay.
So you
sure.
want to keep checking? Do you want to give me a minute? Should I take over or it's fine with you?
No, it's fine with me. No problem.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Amrita. So apologies from my side once again because of the network issue. We were discussing about module 3, and I told you that we have these very important services which are available in module 3 about data and application security, Azure Key Vault application security, storage security, and database security. So in this module, we will be discussing about these things. So I've added few things from this module to understand more about the security service which is available in the data and application. I will also show you the portal as well. So here in the Azure Key Vault, we can store the tokens, passwords, certificates, API keys, and other secrets which we have. This is a safe locker in the Azure where we can keep all these secrets and the certificates, and then we can give a secure access to the applications and the users. Also, we can have a hardware security modules protected key as well. So all these details you will be understanding in AZ 500 course, where you will be discussing and understanding that how to create key vaults, how to give access to the users to the key vault. Because again, when you have everything stored in the key vault, you need to have and you need to give a secure access to the services to the users. So again, how to work on that we will be understanding. And also the important thing which is mentioned in the slide is that this is not intended for user passwords. Means we are storing the user passwords in the databases in the encrypted format, the hash values of the password, but we are not storing the user passwords in the key vault. Key vault is designed to store the secrets, certificates, and the keys which we have. So just make sure that you are working on secrets, certificates, and keys only when you want to store in the key vault. And again, for accessing the certificates, secrets, and keys, we have a specified permissions which are assigned. And we have two service tier, that is standard and the premium. So we will be discussing the entire detail about key vault. This slide is basically giving you an understanding that how the key vault is working. We have a management plane, means the managerial operations which we can do on the key vault. And then we have a data plane where we can work on the data which we have stored in the key vault. So here in the management plane, we have creation and deletion of key vault. That kind of operations we can perform where we can create a key vault and we can delete the key vault, or we can retrieve the key vault properties, or we can update the access policies which are available for the key vault. Now we can perform all these managerial tasks with the help of role-based access. I will show you this also in the portal, that how we can assign the role-based access, how we can assign the key vault access policy. So here, if you see, this is a management plane. All the management related operations for the key vault will be managed in the management plane. And then we have a data plane. So in the data plane, we are working on the data which is available in the key vault. So in AZ 500 course, we will be creating key vaults, and then we will be storing the keys, secrets, and certificates also. And in that, we have a specified lab also, which is designed to make you understand about the key vault policies and about the RBAC assignments. So in the data plane, if you see, what we can do is we can add, delete, and modify the values which we have stored in the key vault. And what we can store: keys, secrets, and certificates. So we will be discussing all these things. I'll give you a small demo also. And if you see user and applications which are trying to access the key vault, what they are doing is they are again authenticating with Azure AD. See, the process is very secure. Authenticating with Azure AD, then the authorization will be checked. What is the authorization means? Which operations the caller can execute, what permissions the caller is having, the identification of the caller, if this caller is the legit caller or not. So from this particular path, if you see authorization, we have the RBAC and we have the key access policies. Based on that, the access will be given for the specified operation. So this is how a key vault will be managed and key vault will be worked. If you see this slide, I've added this slide to give you understanding about the key vault soft delete, because we are talking about our secret, our confidences, our certificates in key vault. And this is a safe locker in the cloud infrastructure. If you are deleting anything, again, it can trouble your productivity also. So in key vault soft delete, what we can do is we can save the permanent delete. What we can do is, without soft delete protection, what is happening is user is performing delete operation on key vault, and whatever deletion is happening, the delete is permanently deleted and it is irreversible, it is irrecoverable. So we don't want to have such situations. So it is recommended always to go with soft delete protection, because your secrets are stored. Now, when your secrets are stored, you want to have a secure access, but also you want to protect from the accidental delete also. So here from key vault, users can perform delete operation on key vault. Then key vault moves to soft delete state. We have specified duration, which we can mention, which we can see. After that, user perform the purge operation, or after that period is lapsed, the data will be permanently deleted. But during this period, you have an option to recover the deleted information. We are doing this because Key Vault is a place where we are storing all the important information like encryption keys, which we want to use. We are using the certificates like TLS, SSL certificates. We are using the keys like, I'll give you an example what kind of secrets we are storing. Most of you, I think, have worked on certain applications in your college time, in your office also. So where when we are writing a code for accessing, let's say you are accessing a database from this application. So for accessing this database, we have a username and password. We have a server address. We have tables, which all we need to add in the connection string. So I'm sure that you all are agree with me that you have worked on the connection strings. In the connection strings, we have to give all these details. Now, these connection strings are hard coded in the entire code, and those are stored in the files. What we can do is, instead of writing these username passwords in the files itself, we can store the secret in the Key Vault, and then we can give a Key Vault ID for this access to the users. So with the help of that, a secure access will be given to that particular username and password, and there will be no breach for these kind of information. So Key Vault is coming with soft delete, and also we have a Key Vault backup. Like you can have that question also, we have download backup. If you are going to download this backup, and if you want to use this backup, what will happen? So if you are downloading this backup, you can restore this backup, but only you can restore to the same subscription and in the same Key Vault only. You cannot restore that backup of the Key Vault in any other subscription. So that is the kind of security is given from the Azure to store your secrets and your certificates. So moving forward, we have Azure AD. So this is an alternative to SQL authentication, because what we want is, whatever we have, we want to have a attack surface which is reduced. So in the Azure Active Directory, if we are using the SQL authentication, this is a separate process. But if you are using Azure AD, with the help of which we can authenticate, so with a single process from a single dashboard, we can manage all these things. So this will help stop the proliferation of user identities across the database service. We can manage this, like if you see in this example, Azure AD Database Administrator, we have Azure AD. The database users are mapped to the Azure ID identities. We can assign the roles, we can assign the access to these identities. Based on that access, the user is having access to the SQL, which is available at the Azure AD, and also we have access to manage through that SQL as well. We can again allow the password rotation in a single place, and also we have customers which can manage database permissions using the external Azure AD groups as well. So we can manage this entire thing with the help of Azure AD authentication, and also we have the option to work on the data discovery classification. So if you see in this is built into the Azure SQL databases. Now in this slide, what I want to explain is, we have flooding of the data. Now from that data, we are talking about securing the data, which data we want to secure, what information we want to secure, which is a confidential information, which is information which we can show to public. So in this slide, I am discussing about data discovery and classification. We have to classify the information that out of this available millions of data, this data is confidential data, which I have to handle. This data is my public data. So what I can do is, I can scan the database, I can identify the columns that can potentially having a sensitive data, I can give a sensitive label. So if we have a public data, I need to follow some other policy, some other way. But if it is a confidential data, I need to follow a different strategy. So with the help of data discovery and classification, I can create these sensitive labels, and with the help of which I can create the reports, I can check the access, and that will help me in managing and securing my data. So again, these things are also part of the labs in AZ 500 course. You will be getting more insight into the 4 days training program. We also have a Microsoft Defender for Cloud, where we can go and we can work on these Defender plans which are available. So Microsoft Defender for Cloud is a new name which is given to the Azure Security Center. So the participants, those who are aware about Azure Security Center services, a new name is given to this Azure Security Center in the last year, November, December only. This is Microsoft Defender for Cloud. So what kind of facilities we have in Microsoft Defender for Cloud is cloud security posture management plus cloud workload protection platform. So we have these features which are available. And in this slide, if you see, we have Azure Defender plan, where we have all these Defender plan for the workload protection. This is a workload. We have servers, we have application services, we have SQL databases. So we have Defender's protection of from the threats using these services. So in the AZ 500, you will be understanding about all these aspects of the protection services. And this is a paid model. You can see the pricing also, but the security posture management is coming as a free, which is giving us the recommendation. I will take you to that portal also, that how we can work on the secure score, how we can increase the secure score, what kind of recommendations are coming through which you can make your environment secure, that we will be discussing. So here you see that we have Azure SQL database, Defender for Azure SQL database. So if you see this, we can scan for database security vulnerabilities, again, which are organized by severity. So you can see the security check, minimal set of principles, should be members of fixed high impact database rules. Recommendations are also given to you. Based on that, you can fix your problems. You can strengthen your security posture so that there will be less attack in your environment. We cannot say that your environment is 100% secure nowadays, but then you will be protected from the attacks. You will be aware about these kind of attacks. Also, all memberships for user-defined roles should be intended. So these kind of security checks which are coming, which are failed and which are passed, you can see those settings, those kind of security checks, and with the help of which you can find out the actionable steps to remediate these kind of issues also. And also you can set up a periodic recurring scan also, and you can export these reports. So we have options to export these scan results also. We can check the scan history also. These all things are available, and this covers database level and server level security issues also. And in the next slide, if you see, these are the advanced threat protection. So SQL injection vulnerability, data exfiltration, unsafe action, brute force, anonymous client login, all these kind of threats you can identify with the help of advanced threat protection. And you will be making sure that your environment is safe and secure from such things. You can integrate with Microsoft Defender for Cloud to detect and respond to potential threats as they are occurring. So before moving to this, I'll just take you to the portal once again. I'll just log in once again. I'll show you this, that we have options to work on all these scenarios. So first, I'll show you the Microsoft Defender for Cloud. Also, I will show you the portal.cloudappsecurity.com. This is a portal for cloud application security. So first we will be seeing this. So here you can see, you can work on the security posture. So what we are doing is, we are getting the recommendations, like I'll just zoom it out. Storage account should use a private link connection. So we are getting these recommendations, and based on these recommendations, we can make sure that our environment is secure. We are also getting the fixes for these. Every recommendation is coming with the fix. You can also work on these. What are unhealthy resources? How to harden those resources? What is my secure score? I can explore the security posture. This is a Microsoft Defender for Cloud. So I'm just giving you overview of these things. But in 4 days course, you will be getting an in-depth knowledge about these services which are available, what all features are there, the 100% coverage is there about these services which are included in the AZ 500 based on the course outline. So if you see secure score, so 1 subscription, and we have unhealthy resources. So 5 unhealthy resources we have. We have 37 recommendations. I can go and I can see that what kind of recommendations I have. I can view the recommendations based on the subscription. It's just refreshing. So here we have around 29 recommendations. I can go and I can work on the recommendation. I can identify all the recommendations which are coming. I'm not able to scroll up. Okay. So here you will be getting a list of the resources. I think some network issue at my end and I'm not able to scroll down. But this is a page where we can see the secure score. And then we can also see the recommendations which we are getting. So here Microsoft Defender for Cloud. You can see the workload protections which I was showing on the slide. I'll show you all those things. So we have the option of VM vulnerability assessment. We have SQL vulnerability assessment. So right now nothing is connected. We can identify the vulnerability. We can fix those vulnerability with the help of recommendations which are coming from the Microsoft Defender for Cloud. So here we have Defender plans, which I was showing on the screen. I can enable all these plans to make my workload protected. So you can see based on our requirement, we can enable it. So like databases, these are fully configured. Whatever options you have and you want to manage in your infrastructure, you can work and you can enable from this particular Defender plans. You can work on that. Also, we have an option of working on the security policy. We can work on the default initiative, that is a Azure security benchmark policy, which is already enabled for all. Azure security benchmark policy. This is enabled, and all other policies, if you want to enable for managing your security posture, you can enable those policies also. So the entire discussion about enabling the policy, working on the recommendation, that is also coming. And also I would like to show you the keywords as well. The role-based access. So I'll create, I think, so if I'll click on the keys, right now I don't have any key which is created. Okay, I'll create a new key vault and then I'll show you. So I'm creating this key vault. I have to select a resource group. I've selected this resource group. So all these details, what is a resource group, what is a subscription, all these kind of details you can get from the AZ 900 and SC 900 course. Please attend that course. Key vault 1. I am putting everything as a default. And this is soft delete. This is by default enabled now from the Microsoft. And then you can disable it also if you don't want to enable it. And then I'm creating it. I'm creating this access and then I'm showing you the policies which are there. And the basic, I think, is already in use. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think this is not in use. This is also already in use. So I'll just say Bootcamp, AZ 500 key vault. This is not in use. We can create it. So this is a safe locker which we are creating in Azure. And now we can keep our secret certificates safely in this key vault. We will be getting ID to access a key. We will be getting ID to access a certificate, and then we can work on that. So it's taking some time in the deployment. Once this will be deployed, we'll come back to this. This is in the process of deployment. We'll go back to our slides and we will try to understand about the last module of AZ 500. You can share your feedback also in the chat that how much like interesting this program is, Are you liking it, or you want to go ahead with AZ500 training? Please share your feedbacks with us as well. So this is a fourth module, that is security operations. And this is, I can say that, a core of security operations, because these services like Azure Monitor, these services like Microsoft Defender for Cloud, services like Microsoft Sentinel, these services are giving control to secure access, control to understand what's happening in your infrastructure. You cannot sit and relax that you have all these security settings enabled. The services are running and my infrastructure is secure. You have to check regularly about the logs which are generated, and from that you have to understand any kind of attack pattern which is happening. So we have these services like we have Azure Monitor, which is available to us, and which offers a consolidated pipeline for routing any of your monitoring data into the SIM tool security center. So what we have is Azure Monitor is giving us the insight to the applications, giving us the insight to the containers, VM, any monitoring solutions. We can visualize with the help of dashboards. We can visualize with the help of views. We can visualize with the help of Power BI. We can generate the reports. We can work on the dashboards, and we can create our own workbooks also. Whatever reports we want to view, whatever things we want to view, all these things we can visualize with the help of Monitor. Also, we can analyze the data. We have Metric Explorer, we have Log Analytics, where we can go and we can explore the things. We can also respond in terms of creating alerts, and also we can auto scale this. And then also we can integrate the other services like event hubs, logic application, ingest and export APIs. So what we are doing is, in that case, we are again working with the other application, other services, which we can trigger based on the specified level of response or traffic. So the data can be collected from applications, operating systems, Azure resources. Means we are talking about the hybrid infrastructure. We are talking about any kind of resource can feed in the data to the Azure Monitor, and then we can visualize that information. So the entire detail about Azure Monitor we will be discussing in AZ500 course. So we will be having the entire data in terms of metrics and logs. Here, if you see, the logs are mentioned over here. I'll show you in the demonstration. Log contains different kinds of data. Every activity which we are doing, right now, when I was creating a keyword, right now when I was logging in, each and every activity is logged in the portal. And these are organized into records with a different sets of properties for each type. We can filter the records, we can identify the information, and also we have telemetry like events and presses and performance data we can combine for the analysis. We can find and write KQL on these logs. This is a read-only language which we can fire. We can design our queries. We can fire on the logs which are connected. That also little bit we will be discussing in the coming slide. And also we have metrics. So metrics are nothing but numerical values that describe some aspects of a system at any point of time. And these are lightweight and also capable of supporting near real-time scenarios. So we can see some charts. We can create the graphical visualizations from the data we are getting. So from these numbers, we can create these kind of visualization, and we can understand that what's happening, what kind of pattern we have. So these things we can understand from the metrics and logs. So again, discussions will be there in the AZ500. I'm just giving you the overview what is there in the module 4 of AZ500. I know that I've covered a lot of the things in this 2 hours, but I wanted to give you an overview about the things. If you want to go in detail, you can attend a training from 6th to 9th June. You can get the benefit of government initiative of incentive also, in which you can also get your reimbursement of the training fee up to some percentage. So the details you will be getting in your email. So don't miss to attend this training, and don't miss to attend a 24th May training also, which is on the fundamental things of cloud and the security. So here we can collect and analyze the resource data in the log analytics and from the cloud and from the on-prem. Also, we can write the log queries, as I was talking about KQL, that is Kusto query language. So you can write your log queries and you can interactively analyze the results of those queries. So we will be seeing some queries also, how we can work on those queries. Now, if you see, we have connected resources like data sources, other sources from which we are collecting the log records. We also have a repository and we have options to work on the logs like alerts, dashboards, Power BIs, and we can export the reports also. So all these kind of control on the activities which are recorded, the logs which are recorded, you can able to see from this log analytics itself. And this is a slide which is talking about cyber kill chain. So this slide I have taken so that I can explain you the steps which attacker are using, that what kind of things which are there in the infrastructure and how the attackers are accessing this information. So in this Azure security kill chain, if you see, the first step is the observation stage. So in the observation stage, what is happening is the attacker is accessing your network and services to identify any possible targets and techniques to gain the entry. So in the first step, only the observation stage where the attacker is basically accessing your network. Nothing has happened. In the second stage, that is the intrusion stage, the attackers is using the knowledge which is gained from the stage one and again getting the access to a part of your network, because this information is telling that any network is weak, any kind of issues. So these things are managed. And then intrusion is basically the phase where exploring the flaw or any security hole which is there, any security weakness which is there. In the exploitation stage, it is exploiting the vulnerabilities or inserting the malicious code onto the system to get more access. So if you remember in the DDoS attack, I've given the example that we have number of zombie machines. So these zombie machines are working on the instructions of attacker. So what attacker is doing? Attacker is installing a payload, a malicious code, and then with the help of that code, attacker is gaining access to these machines. So in the exploitation stage, insertion of the malicious code or exploiting the vulnerabilities which is happening with the system to get the access. Then in the privilege escalation phase, attacker is basically try to gain administrative access, admin access to compromise the system so that what they can get is they can get access to the more critical data. And then they can move to the other connected system. So once they are connected with one system, they will be trying to attach to the other systems which are connected in the network. And with the help of which the entire chain is working and all the systems will be infected with the help of that. And this is the act of moving literally to the connected servers and also gain the greater access to the potential data. So in the literal movement, the more access will be taken, and the anti-forensic, what is happening is a successfully pulling off a cyber attack, and also attacker is covering their entry so that you are not able to identify the source of the attack. So in anti-forensic, they will be compromising the data, and also they are clearing the audit logs also. So we discuss about the logs, each and every activity is recorded. So in this particular phase, they are trying to clear the audit logs, so prevent the detection of any kind of tool or any kind of manual detection, they will not be detected. So in this particular sixth phase, anti-forensics, the entire things will be attacker is trying to delete, and then the denial of service. If machine is responding to the other request, machine stop responding to the legit request which is coming. Let's say, for example, we have an Amazon Black Friday sale, or we have any big e-commerce website where we have a big sale. So that organization is now looking for more traffic which is coming for buying the application because there is a sale. But if legit users are trying to access to this website, but this website is busy in responding to some other request, we always have a capacity of responding. So if this website is in the capacity responding to some kind of malicious request, this website stop responding to the legit requests which are coming. And we say that this site is down. This site is not responding. And this is a denial of service. So with these stages, denial of service attacks are happening. And also we can say that the final extraction stage where the attacker is able to get the very valuable data from the targeted machines. So we can see that attackers are using this kind of kill chain to understand that what kind of things are happening and how they can gain access to the entire infra. So these are the series of steps that trace the stage of cyber attack, and different types of attacks are associated with each stage. And they target various subsystems, and we can identify with the help of Microsoft Defender for Cloud. These are designed around the cyber kill chain only and on the midway framework tactics. It is very easy for us to work on, design our alerts, design our rules to manage such kind of attacks which are happening, to identify the patterns which are in the infrastructure. So we discussed about the Microsoft Defender for Cloud, that this is a central hub for monitoring security status. We have seen the security score. We have seen the recommendation. So this protects Azure hybrid and multi-cloud environment. Also, this continuously assessing your environment, and it tailored security policies to ensure compliance. We have seen that we have Azure security benchmark policy, which is enabled by default. And then we can have add-on policies like PCI, we can have PCI, we can have HIPAA. So we can have other policies also which are required by the work we are doing in the organization, the data which we are handling in the organization. And also it's provide a threat prevention recommendation and the security alerts. And also we have two tiers, free and Azure Defender. So this is a cloud workload protection, and this is a cloud security posture management. So we are getting these recommendations free of cost, and with the help of which we are able to manage these scenarios. And this is a service which is again a very important service, and this is the last topic which I'm taking for today's bootcamp. This is Microsoft Sentinel, and this is known as a SIM solution. This is known as a SOAR solution. What is the meaning of these things? We will be understanding right now. This is Security Information Event Management. Now, organizations are looking for people, those who can work on SIM tools. Organizations are looking for the people, those who can understand, write, and work on the KQL. They are looking for the people, those who can understand and work on collecting the data from the various resources. I'll give you one example. You are working on, let's say, project 1, project 2, and project 3. Now, in this project, you have certain activities which are happening. You have this project 2 where some activities are happening. Again, you have project 3 where some activities are happening. If I ask you to monitor all these 3 projects together at the same time, what is happening is, if you're not having any tool, individually you will be understanding the activities which are happening in P1. Then sometimes you will be going to P2 checking, but then you will be missing something which is happening in P1. Then you will be switching to P3. So here I'm giving only example of 3 services. I'm giving example of only 3 projects. Think about the large infrastructure. Think about your organization where n number of projects, n number of services are running. Now, in that kind of scenario, we can't rely at a time. We can only managing the one service. We are only checking the logs of one service. That will not serve the purpose. That will not give us the clarity of what is happening in my infrastructure. So because of that, we have a solution like Microsoft Sentinel, which is an information and event management service, which is helping us in collecting the data. It is giving us the visibility to collect the data from various data connectors. So right now, Azure is having 123 built-in data connectors from which you can collect the data from. You can analyze the data. You can understand that what kind of pattern is going on, what kind of attack pattern is happening. You can understand from those traffic. You can do the hunting, means you can predict. You can also analyze the real-time traffic also based on the alerts which you are designing. And you can identify, work on the incidents, and then you can do the automated task also, because this is also known as security orchestrated automated response. This is a very, very interesting service and very important, because this is a tool that organizations are using to collect, analyze, and perform security operations on its computer. I hope that you have heard about Splunk, QRadar. All these are examples of SIM solutions. DeoSIM, these are the examples of SIM solution, and Microsoft is having this solution, that is Microsoft Sentinel. Here we have the data connectors, which I was discussing with you. So here we have 98, but the number is now increased to 123 plus data connectors because Microsoft always increasing and updating its services. So here we have service to service integration. We can have the data which is coming from the various cloud. And also we have the external solutions via API. I will show you these connectors in the demonstration. Also, we have external solutions that can perform real-time log streamings using the syslog protocol and by an agent. I will show you these connector list also. What are the things which you need to understand, but the entire detail about this will be covered in Easy 500 course. You should attend that course if you want to learn more about those services. So just wanted to tell you one more thing about this. I'll just take this slide and then we will move to the demonstration. That the training is happening on Easy 900 and SC 900 on 24th of May. Please register for this training if you want to build your career in security. This is a training which will give you a fundamental knowledge, fundamental aspects about Azure infrastructure plus the security, compliance and identity management. What all the fundamental things? You can upgrade your skills at no cost. Register for this training, take the benefit of this training, understand the fundamentals, and then come for this training. We will meet again on 6th June for understanding all these modules in detail from 9 to 5. We will be working on the labs. We will be spending our time on the discussions, how to write queries, how to fire queries, how we can work on the infrastructure, how we can create our identities, how we can give the access, all those things in detail we will be discussing. So you can enroll on this course and then you can also get the benefit because this course is eligible for Government of India incentives and you can get a chance to get your training fee reimbursed. And for this detail, you will be getting an email from the CloudThat and NSCOM team that how you can redeem the training fee, up to which percentage the training fee will be reimbursed. And you will be getting a certificate also, which you can use. And you kindly give your feedback and also kindly give the poll questions which Amrita and the other team members are asking, and also give your feedback that how you like this session, what all topics you want to cover in the upcoming sessions. And please attend this Easy 500 training batch. I'll take you to the demo. Till that, you can fill this feedback and you can check this also. I'll just taking you through the resource which we have created, that is Key Vault. We have created this Key Vault. In this, I will show you the policies which we have. So I'm creating a key and then I will show you the access policies. So I'm creating a key 1 over here. You can see that the key type RSA or EC type, or you can also have a key size as well. You can mention the activation date. So I'm not going in the detail right now. You will be getting the entire detail when you will be joining us for the training. I can download the public key as well. So here I have created the key. Also, I have secrets which I can create. So here we can manage keys and secrets. This key is enabled. I can also restore the backup. I can manage deleted keys. So the entire information will be given to me if I want to access this information. Also, I have a access control IAM for this specific key vault where I can manage the access. And I'll take you to the Sentinel now. And I'll show you about the KQL and about the Sentinel connectors as well. So this is an important point about Sentinel is that Sentinel is sitting on top of log analytic workspace, and then you can connect the connectors. So what is the meaning of that? How you can create log analytic workspace? That all things you will see in the Easy 500 training course. Right now, I will be showing you that what all components we have in Microsoft Sentinel, how we can work on what kind of events and alerts which are coming over the time, how you can create your own alerts. And these are the logs which we are getting. From where we are getting the log that I'm showing you right now. But these are the list of the logs which I want to show you. Yeah. So if you see this, here we can write our queries. We have the tables which are available like security alerts, security incidents. If I'll show you the audit logs which we have. So you see, this is a very intelligent ID which is given to you. So I want to see the entire audit logs. I'll show you what all things we have over here. Yeah. So every activity which we are doing, all those activities will be registered over here. And you can go and check the details about these activities. You can click it and you can see that what all activities are happened. Entire detail about these logs. So this audit logs is a table. So similarly, the tables are created, available, and then what you can do is you only have a read only access. You can only read the logs which are available. And then you can write, if you have worked on the SQL, this is a very, very simple language, is similar to the SQL, but the syntax are available in this. So you can write your queries and you can understand that what's happening in your infrastructure. I wanted to show you the data connector at last. Okay. And what is available in the data connector, that also I wanted to show you. But all these details and the coverage will be shared to you in the Easy 500 4 days course. If you are interested and if you find this bootcamp interesting, make sure that you will not be missing this. So we have around 123 connectors which are available. I wanted to show you the connectors which we have, like we have Amazon Web Services. We can get the connector from this cloud. We can also have some other tools. You can see like Cisco, you can see the Azure activity. We can feed in all the Azure activity to Sentinel. We can feed in the DDoS protection logs to the Sentinel. We can feed in the firewall logs to the Sentinel, information protection to the Sentinel. All these services are sending their logs to a central location, and you have a bird eye view of all kind of activities which are happening in your infrastructure. And then you have a hold of these things. What I will do is I will show you the status of the connected services only, and then I will show you that what all things these services are managing. Yeah. So if you see over here, this is my connector, which is Azure Active Directory connector. And these are the data types and the logs which are connected with the Sentinel. I'm opening this connector page and I'll showing you what all things we have, what all things you need to manage when you are want to connect the connectors. These are the prerequisites which you need to manage and which you need to work on. Workspace should have read and write permissions. So every connector is having its own prerequisite. We have to see that are we having those kind of prerequisites satisfied or not. Based on that, only you will be getting access to the connection with the Sentinel. So tenant permissions, you should have this role assigned to you, and then the configuration. And the configuration part, it will be showing you that what all logs it will be taking from that connector and attaching with the Sentinel or sending it to the Sentinel for the further processing. So you can see the sign-in log. I'll set a little bit zoom. So you can see that the sign-in logs, audit logs, non-interactive logs, all these kind of logs which are coming from the Azure Active Directory will be feeding to the Sentinel. And you can fire your queries on these logs. You can understand that what's happening in these logs, and then you can take the necessary action. So you have these workbooks on which you can work, and you can work on the hunting. You can create your rules based on which also you can analyze the rules. So all those things you can work in the Microsoft Sentinel, which is known as security information and event management. And this will also give us the facility to orchestrate the automated response, where we can design the logic applications. We will be receiving an emails about the alerts which we are generating. So if I'll show you the analytics part, just taking a few minutes. We can create the scheduled query rule also, that you have some machines which are running, you want to have certain rules on those machines, any application rule you want to design, traffic level you want to check. So anything if you want to work on, you can schedule a query rule. You can have incident creation rule, any incident which you want to create based on the group of alerts or based on the rules. And you can also have near real-time query rules also. And based on these rules, you can identify, understand the patterns which are happening. You can generate the alerts and then incidents will be created. So this is a very interesting modules where you will be working. And also, yes, if you are already working on some algorithms to securing your data, so Microsoft is giving you facility to bring your own ML, bring your own algorithms with the help of notebooks. So you can have your own notebooks which are coming in this. So I can configure the workspace where I can write my own queries. I can work on those queries. And yes, I have that portal. I think that is connected now. I'll show you that portal also before logging off this session. Azure Cloud Application Portal. So this is a portal which I was discussing about the securing the cloud applications. So this portal is giving us the entire structure about the applications which are running. So with this, I think I have covered the topics till that it is opening. Amrita, if you have any announcement to do, any announcement for the feedbacks or the any other thing, this is taking some time in opening. Okay, it's open now. So this is a defender for cloud applications. So this is giving us the facility to discover and investigate the things which are running in the infrastructure. So what we can do is we can discover, we can investigate, and we can control. We can design our policies based on which we can manage the access to the applications. So here, if you want to discover, I just wanted to show you this app catalog. So if you see this app catalog, we have some risk score also which are assigned. So let's say I want to see the applications which are having less score. I'm opening, let's say, this zero getter application. So I'm not sure that this application is approved or not. This application is aligned with the certain regulatory policies or not. What I can do is I can go to the catalog. I can see about this application, the general information about this application. The data center, it's founded in 2009. What about the security aspect? So any latest breach, it is allowing me to remember the password or not, any valid certification names. I can get the detail about the security aspect of the application. And then based on the compliance, I want to allow this application to my infrastructure or not, that I can decide from this compliance. So all these kind of information you will be getting for your application. And if you want to see the discover, you will be getting the entire information about this, that what all applications are running, any open alert for these applications. So entire control about your applications you will be getting from this specific portal. So all these things I wanted to discuss in this bootcamp, AZ 500 bootcamp. So I just want that you should be taking care of the options which are available like this AZ 500 training, and also you should be taking the benefit of AZ 900 and SC 900 training benefit, which is happening on 24th May. Please register for these. I'll just request the chat moderator to share the training links again with all the participants so that they will not miss this opportunity of learning a new domain and new security services. And also you can take the benefit of the career transformation. So that's it from my side. I hope that you all have a very wonderful experience with me and you all had a good time with me learning the security services. I know that there are a lot of things which I covered and I've given a brief about all those things. You can understand that how big this course is all about and how infrastructure security services are incorporated in AZ 500 so that you can understand the control of securing the data in cloud. So with this, I just wanted to stop my screen. And I wanted to thank you all for this. And I wanted to apologize once again for that disturbance which happened in between. But I am sure that you all had a very wonderful experience. Over to you, Amrita. Now. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Abhilasha. It was an amazing session. I was hooked. And I think I also can say I know a little bit about Azure Cloud now. So thank you so much. Thank you, everybody, for joining.